of Justice wants to inform the public that former Vice President Joel Howard Taylor has been formally charged in connection with the ongoing investigation into an alleged transnational narcotics network operating within and beyond the Republic of Liberia. But Howard Taylor was stopped from departing Liberia at Roberts International Airport and subsequently taken to the headquarters of the Liberian National Police. Following investigative procedures and review of the evidence presented by the Joint National Security Investigative Team, she has been charged with the following offenses. Under the Controlled Drug and Substance Act of 2023, violation of Section 14.83, unlicensed importation of a controlled drug or substance. Violation of Section 14.85, unlicensed sale, trading, administration, dispensation, delivery, distribution, dispatch in transit, and transportation of a controlled drug or substance. And violation of Section 14.93, illicit trafficking of a controlled drug or substance. Under Chapter 10 of the Penal Law of Liberia, violation of Section 10.2, criminal solicitation. Violation of Section 10.3, criminal facilitation. A violation of Section 10.4, criminal conspiracy. Under the Anti-Money Laundering and Terrorist Financing Law, violation of Section 15.2, money laundering. The government further announces that the following alleged members and organizers of the same transnational narcotics network have been similarly charged in absentia. 1. Nicola Avensi, a Croatian national. 2. Mehovil Brovik, a Croatian national. And 3. Tara Zeriko, a Ukrainian national. We have the pictures here for your information. We'll be circulating them to the press. The Ministry of Justice will pursue all lawful domestic and international measures necessary to locate, apprehend, and bring these defendants before the courts of the Republic of Liberia. Meanwhile, former Deputy Director of the National Security Agency for Administration, Mr. Gerald Smith, has been called in for questioning in connection with the same investigation. These actions represent a decisive stage in the government's determination to expose and dismantle this network from its roots. We identify and pursue its leadership, financiers, facilitators, transporters, operational coordinators, institutional protectors, and every person who knowingly assisted its activities. No office is too high. No political connection is too powerful. No nationality provides immunity, and no individual is beyond the reach of the law. Transnational narcotics trafficking is not an ordinary criminal enterprise. It is a direct attack upon our national security, public institutions, economy, and the future of Liberia's young people. Any organization that attempts to corrupt public officials, penetrate state institutions, or transform Liberia into a transit corridor for illicit narcotics will face the full and lawful authority of the Republic. Our objective is not merely to seize narcotics or arrest low-level operatives. Our objective is to dismantle the entire criminal infrastructure, its leadership, financing, logistics, protection arrangements, and international connections. We will follow the evidence across institutions, political boundaries, and national borders. There will be no selective justice, political protection, sacred cows, or compromise with organized criminality. Every person against whom credible and admissible evidence is established will be investigated and prosecuted with all fear of political consideration. The government, nevertheless, emphasizes that criminal charges and accusations and do not constitute judgment of guilt. All defendants remain presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty before a court of competent jurisdiction. They are entitled to legal representation, due process, and all constitutional and statutory protections guaranteed under Liberian law. This remains an active and sensitive investigation involving multiple individuals and jurisdictions. The government will therefore not disclose information that could compromise ongoing operations, endanger cooperating persons, or prejudice judicial proceedings. We urge the public, political actors, and media institutions to avoid speculation, intimidation of witnesses, and the publication of unverified information capable of interfering with the investigation. Let there be no misunderstanding. Liberia will not be surrendered to drug traffickers or to those who enable them. We will uproot this network. Several its financial institutional support where
the voice of Liberia Justice Minister Oswald speaking to the media. And I'm Sir Augustine Mayo Jr.
Republic of section, thereby allowing journalists who are here to ask a number of questions. The Attorney General and members of the Joint Security will take note of the questions and will respond accordingly. So, Famole.
Thank you, Minister. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Emmanuel Mopolo and I report for Inside Liberia. The public just want to know, where is Madam Howard Taylor? Is she in the police custody or should be taken to the Monrovia Senior Prison? Thank you.
So my name is Prince. I report for Prime FM. So it's a follow to his question. So the public would like to know whether the former Vice President will sleep in jail tonight or will be free to.
Well, thank you, Honorable Justice Minister. I'm Nelson Kule and I report for the Spoon Network. I have a few concerns. The first one has to do with the public outcry relative to witch hunt. What can you say about that? There has been concerns that, given the previous address, there were disclosures that DTOs have been operating in the country under previous administrations. Big hands were linked. Current and ex-officials. Now we see the former vice president is one of those that have been brought down. And from that background, there has been public outcry about witch hunt. What can you say to that? And then secondly, there has also been outcry relative to the process as to how an individual.
We're saying it right now. The people got votes. Tell the picture of this, let me post it.
No, not for you, but I'm going to sing a fire. We need a car. We need a car now. No, the police want to care now. So
on the part of the Minister of Justice, because the first thing, the people who are in your control, you the Minister of Justice, you the Attorney General of the Republic of Liberia, you believe that their current official of government that honor your jurisdiction. Don't forget about what you're going to talk about, trying to politicize the matter and drag innocent former official. Those officials that both the
Innocent former officials.
Listen, both the Minister of Justice and the police IG have alluded to the fact that they are current officials. We want to see them. We're demanding them to publicly arrest those current officials. So why are you not arresting them? Why are you not inviting those current officials that you know? Gregory Kwama at the press briefing, the Minister of Information stated they are top officials. So the burden is on them, and we are asking them to make sure that they arrest those people. Let me tell you,
who are the innocent?
I want to send this caveat to the government. If the team will fold our hands and you try to ravage and salvage the opposition and try to discredit or destroy their reputation, we will stand up to the guns. The irresponsibility of this government must come to an end, and they have to make sure justice is transparent.
Do you think the opposition is being
destroyed? There is no way that the opposition can ever be destroyed by this disjointed, disorganized, irresponsible, malicious government of the Unity Party. They can't. They don't have the moral operandums to destroy us. They are just trying to distract the Liberians. And I'm calling on all the Liberians to keep focused. I continue to ask them, put more pressure on Gregory Kwama. Let him name the current official. The Minister of Justice appeared before us and said that some of these things were classified information. You're going to talk in camera. Now, today you have not arrested any current official, even though one of the alleged persons have been formed with the vice president, the current vice president, and his wife. They have seen them, and no arrest.
Police officer, whenever he sees condition in this DA, I want to want to see how the police behave. So according to you,
Okay, Honorable Gray and the police, yeah, we
Hello, Kamara, welcome to DA News. My name is Wilmot Kunan. I mean, the former vice president is here. What does this mean for the CDC as a whole?
Well, CDC is a party of law, right? Whatever the lawyers are there, they will take charge of all the unfolding. So I can't speak to anything I don't have sufficient information on.
we saw you having so far, Honorable Kamara, from your past former burial, being named person of interest.
The former vice president of the country is a stateswoman. Understand that very well. She served this country as the second president in command of the country, as far as our history is concerned. And this government, we expect that the most honorable thing to do was to exercise respect. And we see that this government
The speaker, the general speaker, they are playing. Tomorrow, we can say all of you.
You know what I feel?
But why is that doing? No.
Thought on the issue of the threshold bill that was passed recently, and then a motion of reconsideration was taken by one of our colleagues, which sparked heated debate around here. You know, on the 9th of December 2025, the House of Representatives passed on this bill and sent it to the Senate for concurrence. This bill was crafted following the submission of the 2022 census results, which puts Liberia's population at around 5.2 million plus. And this submission was done to satisfy the constitutional requirements that are enshrined in Articles 80D and 80E. In 80D, it says each constituency shall have an approximately equal population of 20,000 or such number of citizens as the legislature shall prescribe in keeping with population growth.
I can't stand no more, cause no more food. I cannot go to school, cause no more money. I can't stand no more, cause no more food. I cannot go to school, cause no more money.
Indeed, a pleasant good evening from Liberia. Today is the 25th of August, 2026. It's a pleasure to be back on the round table, and we appreciate all of you for following Wizz TV. My name is William Papa Lockable McGill. This is the round table, 1 full hour of fascinating discussions from across Liberia, stories that are making headlines across our country. Tonight, what is it that we have on our menu for tonight's presentation? We gonna dive into that. Basically, we will take a look at happenings there at the University of Liberia and some other situations that came up today from organized protest or march from the Student Unification Party, and as well as PROSA. At later time, we saw one of the board members in person of Representative Romeo Quea Kano County there on the campus in at the Capitol Hill campus of the University of Liberia. At later time, we will talk about the former vice president being detained at the Monrovia Central Prison while she undergoes investigation into all of her charges. Stay tuned. We took a short break. To be right back.
Job, no money, no cause, no glory, no help for poor men. That's what we know. How many people do you love? How many people do you cherish? How many people do you help out there? Most especially poor men. No job, no money, no cause, no glory, no help for poor men. That's what we know. We got bigger than money. We got bigger stories.
Welcome back to the round table, and it's a very great pleasure to be on here tonight, where we are going to talk about things that matter the most to our beloved country, Liberia. So, let's now run you through with the BBC, and later time we can now bring you out today in history, which will follow by our talking point here on the program, and we can kick off with all of these discussions. But let's run to the BBC and see what's in store for us from the BBC website in terms of all of the happenings there from across Africa. We are here on the BBC. It says Nigeria's president orders manhunt after kidnappers upload video that's victim video. So it says the footage shows dozens of men, women, and children sitting in a forest. Again, this one says Tanzania's vice president announces resignation in unprecedented move. Emmanuel Chimbi is the first vice president to quit since independence 6 decades ago. That's 60 years. And still on the BBC website, it says mass arrest in global crackdown on West African cybercrime networks. The operation include the arrest of 39 people in South Africa for romance and investment scams. Trump envoy calls for Sudan while arms embargo as drone attacks escalate. A wider arms embargo would require a UN Security Council vote, and Russia and China oppose the move. For sports, it says Ethiopia submits official bid to host AFCON 2028. Ethiopia submits a bid to host the 2028 African Cup of Nations despite lacking enough stadiums to host a 2014 tournament. And finally, here it says 101-year-old great grandmother arrested for selling cannabis in Nigeria. Esther Ogumabo is accused of selling retail sachets of a strain of cannabis known as shunkon. That's exactly what we have for you on the BBC. Let's run in with our today in history, and right after that, we can get to our talking points on the program. What is it for us here on the program today in history? August 25th, 1984. That's 1944, August 25th. Allied, let's say Allied and French forces liberated Paris from Nazi German occupation. During World War II, General Charles de Gaulle entered the city and delivered a historic speech the following day. Today in history, that's August 25th, 1875, British swimmer Matthew Webb became the first known person to successfully swim across the English Channel, completing the journey from England. Quickly, let's get it from England. Where are we? From England to France in about 22 hours. Today in history, uh, uh, August 25th, spacecraft made its closer approach to Neptune on August 25th, 1989, becoming the first spacecraft to visit the planet. And more on here says today in history, on August 25th, 1916, U.S. President Woodrow Wilson signed the National Park Service Organic Act, formally creating the U.S. National Park Service to protect America's natural and historic landmarks. Those are things we have for you on our today in history. Let's now run up to all of our talking points. It's saddening that we couldn't have been on a program for the past 2 days, for a week, due to some technical issues that we face. We really, really want to apologize to all of our followers of the program, and hopefully, we hoping that we can have Francis on as well if he's available so that he can just fill us in with what's happening there from, you know, the Ministry of Information today, and then we can go ahead. But let's talk about the University of Liberia, right? For the past weeks, we've been covering situations surrounding the reopening of the state-run university. And let me cue this video in quickly. And okay, and then at a later time of last week, we saw that the president, Dr. Mapaya, was being engaged by a member of the Student Unification Party or member of the Student Unification Party, and later time uh, they expressed their own grievances in terms of things that they felt or they still feel that the current president of the university is not doing right. We also had issues coming in from the University Faculties Association leadership, speaking about their uh, whatever benefits, NASCOP funds and everything. And that alone has been some serious issue that led to the reopening of school being delayed. And per the university own calendar that was being put up while school was having the July 26th break, uh, they spoke about the reopening of school on today. And we also saw some renovation work on one of the buildings there at the Capitol Hill campus. And some of, let's say, right, it was just about changing the zinc that we were being able to see vividly. And so this is a scene that happened today when SOUP, which is the Student Unification Party, is there at the University of Liberia, spoke to the media about their planned engagement today in terms of calling on all the necessary authorities and the leadership of the University of Liberia to make sure that they can have school reopen, that they are tired sitting home, that they need to get back to classes. We later on saw the just listen to this video, right? And that's students from the university, to be precise, members of SUP. They're booing at one of the board members in person of Representative uh, Quia, Romeo Quia from Sano County, to be precise, stand to be corrected. And he was basically, touring the campus. And the guy here in the right red shirt was also having a placard calling on the leadership to pay him 4 months' salaries that they owed him. And Representative Kuya said he should leave the premises, and his plot was not as important as it was to him as a person. And at a later time, we saw some conversation with uh, one of the board members in person of Representative Kuya, and a member from the Ministry of Public Works, an engineer from the Ministry of Public Works, where they were looking at the roofing of the currently renovated building, to be precise, has been claimed by the leadership. And uh, they were carrying on some assessment of several other facilities on the campus when Representative Quia then decided to speak with or to members of the Student Unification Party. This was The point asked not to enter even the administrative building on the Capitol Hill campus. And in search for safety, I can safely say to you, he was quickly put into a vehicle, government vehicle from the Ministry of Public Works instead of his own official vehicle. And he left the premises of the University of Liberia. Some of the questions that the students asked was if they feel that the campuses of the University of Liberia is as better as the thing. There is no essence of sending their children out of Liberia for better education. If the things that the University of Liberia is up to standard, why can't you send your children to the university? And funny enough to say that his response was literally, if they give me admission, they will come. Let them apply. If you think they will attend, why can't you apply for admission for them? You're both here. The thing about it is, our country Liberia, these politicians will literally feels like uh the common people are just there. When I say there, I mean like literally they are supposed to be, waiting for them to come and be used by them. In the sense that there's money already there for the renovation work to be done. You as a Bochie, you as a Liberian, choose to be patriotic, serving in government, right? What are you doing? What are some of the things that you pushing forth at the 55th National Legislature to be able to make sure that the University of Liberia is up to standard, that the state-run university is one of the 10 or 5 best universities in Liberia. Sometimes these guys surely portray an act that tells us that there's no heart of even thinking about the common people. But let me play this clip for you. Funny enough.
Soup student acting.
And that's it right there. Let me play. And that's it right there. Yeah. So it was interesting to see how students uh responded to I don't know if it was an assessment visit by the representative who is also a board member there at the University of Liberia. I don't know if that was basically an act of helping to speed up with the renovation work because the student are now calling for the reopening of school there at the University of Liberia, and it's something that they basically think that you know needs to be handled fast and with proper care. Um, let's now talk about this whole issue of the ex-vice president Joe Howard Taylor, as she's currently spending a night at the Monrovia Central Prison, South Beach. And um, let me say this right. Before we get to most of these things that I want to touch on with this, there's a lot. There's really, really a lot. Really, really a lot. There's a lot to look at. And then, as much as there's a lot to look at, is really a legal matter, and we basically have to be able to look at it with care. Hmm? Look at it with care and serious attention. Serious attention. Yeah, serious attention, because if that is not done, people will say, "Oh yeah, yeah, you shouldn't have said this." So, firstly, before we dive in, listen to the legal counsel of the former vice president, Madam Taylor, and where's the counsel clip? I sure this is it. Yeah, listen to Councillor Finlay Kanga.
Now, okay, so that we'll be able to agree the next strategy. I'm now going back to Justice Janet.
How long? What's the judgment fair? How long is it going to be here?
I've said I've been denied my client. I'm unable to make any statement at this point.
What's the judgment fair?
I need to confer with a woman so that we will tell the woman what can happiness.
But you are a legal practitioner. We are asking you. When someone is brought here, when someone has been brought here as a legal person, how long they should be here? As a legal person,
It's actually evil. It's evil. What makes it evil? That will go through the situation we are going through right now.
what make it evil, counsel?
Someone is sick, very sick.
Very sick. And so we refer to any problem.
Are you regretting the situation?
Are you disappointed? She's sick. The medical report said that she's okay.
That's the lie.
Okay, that's what we heard. That's what we heard.
Are you heartless?
No.
The lady is sick, extremely sick.
That's the information that we got. That's the information we got. What did the medical?
Was there any document proving that?
That's Councillor Finlay Kanga, one of the legal counsel of the former vice president, Jewel Howard Taylor. And he spoke to journalists at the Monrovia Central Prison, where he said that he haven't been given, any chance to speak with his client. And he also said that his client is not that okay in terms of health. And as such, she needed an adequate time to regain her health, and then at which time the case could have proceed with the trial or whatever. So this is so far so good. We just want to go in a little deep with what we want to talk about. So we see that the former vice president, Madam Taylor, she served as former vice president from 2018 to 2024, and she now facing serious criminal charges connected to an alleged transitional narcotics network. So this is what the uh, the indictment says, right? According to police indictment against former Vice President Jewel Howard Taylor, she allegedly received $45,000 from the ringleader of the drug cartel ring in Dubai. They say she used the money to shopping. So this is the answer, and a quote, and I read: after the introduction in the early 2000, that's 2022, defendant Jewel Howard Taylor met Sheikh Basuru Kante, Taraz Zadaroko, and Mahol Vorvik at her Sophie residence located in Congatown, Montserrat County. And it says during the meeting at defendant Jewel Howard Taylor's residence, Taraz and Maholville invited her to travel to Dubai, United Arab Emirates, UAE, to meet with their boss named Nicola Avensi, a Croatian national and a kingpin ringleader, excuse me, of the cocaine transnational crime cartel. They continue. In Dubai, they lodge at each hotel located at Trade Center roundabout, Sheikh Zayed Road, where a meeting was held using Liberia as transit point for the illicit trafficking of cocaine, to which she agreed. They continue. While defendant Jewel Howard Taylor was in Dubai, she received 45,000 United States dollars from Nicola Avensi for shopping in the presence of Basuru Kante, Taras Zadiroko, and Mahovi Rovek. Upon defendant Jewel Howard Taylor returned to Liberia, she maintained strong ties with the cocaine cartel. She requested and received 75,000 United States dollars from the hierarchies of the cartel through Sheikh Basuru Kante for her entity, Jewel Starfish Foundation. While the cartel continues to import and export cocaine in and out of Liberia, and she maintained constant contacts and engagements with the cartel operating cells of the effect that she again requested and received through Sheikh Basuru Kante the amount of 15,000 United States dollars in August 2026. And she extended appreciation to Nicola Avenzi, the kingpin for the cartel, which can be heard on an audio recording. Once, you know, that alone sounds like, you know, a plan, right? You already planned for someone, and basically, uh, you have them all ready and everything, and then you have to roll with the game. Check Basuru Kante. So let's go. Like I said, we take it little by little. That's exactly the indictment there. And then the allegations include drug, that's drug trafficking, the lessons importation, sale, distribution, and transportation of controlled substances, criminal solicitation, criminal facilitation, criminal conspiracy, and money laundering. So it's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, like around eight different charges the former vice president is basically going to, be charged for, and answer to the questions that might be asked. You know, The charges against, her are all allegations, right? A charge is not a conviction, and she remains entitled to, the presumption of innocence unless and until a court determines otherwise. Her lawyer have rejected the allegation, like I said, and they further characterize them as politically motivated. Some investigators, meanwhile says the case is supported by, trial records, audio recording, witness testimony, and evidence of alleged association with members of the network. Yeah. So sometimes, basically, what I would say is the fact that if you are doing things like once there's a case against you, and whether you know or not, you will be charged for it. So it's prudent enough that sometimes when you are going on with some things and certain people, you have to be very mindful how you go about with said business, because you do not at no point understand and know what exactly is going to happen. So here is where the entire thing is coming from. In July, you know, the Joint Security, announced one of the country's biggest and largest ever cocaine seizure, where authorities reported finding approximately 3,971 kilograms of cocaine in Duazon near Monrovia. And they estimated the street value to approximately $317 million. So, they later on destroy approximately 4.2 metric tons of the cocaine. The Sun reports putting the estimate value at around 336, 337 million. And two foreign nationals were also arrested in connection with the seizure, and the case is also reportedly, brought through scrutiny and is currently ongoing as well. And this is the same case that the former vice president has been charged with, this drug bust. And you know, there's a lot of from security personnel being investigated to all the top ranking government officials, and former. It just shows how things are very uncertain. And sometimes this situation makes people to ask several questions. Who should you trust? Why should you trust this person? And who are those people exactly can't you trust? We witnessed the former vice president as she was taken at the Monrovia Central Prison in detention while waiting for the trials, and to be able to testify whether she's guilty or not guilty to all of these charges. Mind you, maybe with the level of evidence, she might be charged, and some of these charges might be dropped. With the level of evidence, maybe all of the charges as well might drop as the investigation continue. So with this is typically a legal matter, and I do the understand and think that there will be jury situation where we have jurors that will have to make their own opinion, like in the case of Samuel Twe, former finance minister. And like I say always, right? These are high profile cases. And, Madam Jewel Howard Taylor has been in government since 1997 when she became, the first lady to former Liberian President Charles Taylor from 1997 to 2003. 2003, she was the first lady. In 2005, she became actively involved into politics. So, you know, while trying to leave Liberia through the Roberts International Airport on August 19th, she was arrested. Should I say arrested or stopped? I don't know. And she was taken into custody, police custody, and transferred, to the LMP headquarters in Monrovia. And, later time where they announced order for 8 charges, like I said, on lessons, importation of controlled substances, sale and distribution of controlled substances, transportation of controlled substances, drug trafficking, criminal solicitation, criminal facilitation, criminal conspiracy, money laundering. And she's not guilty of any of these crimes yet. The court is the only place that will say, oh, yes, she's guilty of this, not guilty of this, or she's guilty for all of these charges that the police will present. The police is bound with the authority to charge you, and the court carry on its final decision process in terms of whether those charges are legitimate and whether the evidence presented for those charges are sufficient enough for you to be charged for them. So that's something again we should all be able to understand. So take a short break. When we come back, we try to conclude and move on with tonight's presentation of the roundtable.
Tell me, we got major headlines. Oh, we got major stories. There is no job, no money for hustlers. We got major headlines. We got major stories. There is no job, no money for hustlers. Come take our coverage, the rainy season coming soon. In the ghetto, all the houses are full of leakage, nowhere to sleep. Come and see the widow, living in the street with her children. Since the daddy went to war to fight, he never lived to see them. The children have no shelter, oh, the children have no education. The children have no one to call their friend, the children have no food to eat. We are major headlines. Oh, we are major stories. Hey, yo. There is no job, no money for hustlers. We got major headlines. Major headlines. We got major stories. Major stories. There is no job, no money for hustlers. How many people do you love?
So we'd like to say welcome back and thanks for being there. Thanks to all of you for following us tonight on the program. It's a very great pleasure to be on here tonight on the roundtable. Until on Thursday, my name has been William McGill, and I'm wishing you a wonderful and a pleasant Tuesday evening from Liberia. Good night. I'm out.
Excuse me, Mr. Journalist. I wonder how you make your headlines in the press release today. Although I read the news every day, but I'm really still getting confused now. And I just wanna ask you some questions. Oh, is it based on money? Is it based on presidency? Is it based on technology? Is it based on war? Tell me, we got major headlines. Oh, we got major story. Yeah. There is no job, no money for hustlers. We got major headlines. We got major story. Yeah. There is no job, no money for hustlers. Come take a coverage, the rainy season coming soon. In the ghetto, all the houses are full of leakage, nowhere to sleep. Come and see the widow, living in the street with her children. Since the daddy went to war to fight, he never lived to see them. The children have no shelter, oh, children have no education. The children have no one to call their friend. The children have no food to eat. We got major headlines. Oh, we got major stories. Hey, yo. There is no job, no money for hustlers. We got major headlines. Major headlines. We got major stories. Major stories. There is no job, no money for hustlers. How many people do you love, man? How many people do you cherish? How many people do you help out there? Most especially poor men. No job, no money. No cause, no glory. No help for poor men. That's what